Computer. All right, what's going on? It's your boy Cuban Mic. You listen to 102.9 Tape Deck. And in case you didn't know, your boy won Radio DJ of the Year. So I'm telling you right now, when you see me in the streets, talk nice to me. 'Cause I'm winning awards up in the streets. But check this out, man. I know everybody been on my case, and I keep saying this like once in the blue moon. And every time you guys see me, they be like, "Yo, where the hip hop at?" Because I've been on my Cuban activist type tape. But I told you this year, I'm coming back strong with some hip hop ish. Shout out to DJ Deadeye. He just came through, gave me a dope episode. And I always keep telling y'all, it ain't no MC without the DJ. And now, besides the DJ, there won't be no MC without food because we got to eat in these streets. And I got a young lady here in the building, and I literally just met her like 5 minutes ago. We just been playing. I don't know if you got phone tag. Do you call like
Oh,
Instagram? There you go. We
Instagram
were like
tag.
Instagram tag. So
Hello.
before I even give an introduction, I got to give an apology because we've been trying to get each other. We just keep missing each other, and I just
It's all good.
like as these kids say, life be lifing. But I got this young lady in the building. She got a dope event coming up this week, so we definitely gonna talk about it. Cause just like me, I going scrolling to her site. She's like hip hop head, just like I'm a hip hop head. And in case you didn't know, I know you see me because I'm skinny up, but I love food. So she got some food business coming out in this and the streets coming up in a couple of days. So we're gonna talk about food. We're gonna talk about hip hop, and we're gonna talk about this young lady out here. I like to introduce Meli Cumbe in the building. What's going on?
How are you? Thank you for having me.
No problem, no problem. So, I mean, before we get to it, man, I want to get a brief introduction about yourself. Because, like I said, I knew nothing about you, and we literally just met 3 minutes ago. So, what's your background on? I would assume you're Dominican.
I am Dominican.
Yeah.
That's a good guess.
All right.
Most people would not guess that, but
Mm.
yes.
Yeah.
So, came to the US in 89 when I was 14 years old.
Mm.
Went to college in 91, 92, and literally fresh off the boat and just kind of submerge myself in the hip hop culture, which was brand new to me, really. I mean, back in the day, hip hop, whatever hip hop was being put out on the radio was kind of very, very pop.
Yeah.
And then just fell, head over heels for hip hop and haven't been able to turn back since. First CD I bought was One for All from Brand Nubian. So that's definitely one of my favorite groups. And then, just kind of hip hop became a way of life. I decided to go to culinary school. The reason that I decided to cook, I had a college degree already in psychology, but the reason why I decided to cook is because I wanted to open a place with live music, and I figure people would want to eat, right? So I said, I don't want to be like your average Dominican, cook or restaurant. So I wanted to be, different, separate myself. So I went to New York City, lived there for 5 years, worked for some of the best chefs. Went to Spain, worked out there too for about 3 months, and then been back here in the States in the Boston area since 2007, 2008. Got married, had kids. So the music kind of took, a little bit of the back burner for a while. And then, I guess once you go through that divorce phase, you kind of get in touch with yourself again.
Hmm.
But I've always been a hip hop head. I've made great connections throughout my lifetime. Made I was made. I remember when I was in college, I was hanging out with Tribe Called Quest and De La Soul,
Wait, talk
and
about
then
you just can't bypass me. You can just put a light flex out here. You just hanging out. I was out here, nigga. I was just here chilling. I was here chilling with the native tongues here.
it
Just
wasn't planned. It wasn't planned. So this is literally my second year in college.
uh,
So when I was a freshman, I was dating the college radio DJ, and he went to work for, you might know him. He went to work for either, I think, Def Jam. So the next year I was like, yo, Tribe and Della are coming through. And he was like, oh, you want me to get you tickets? And I was like, yes.
okay.
So I ended up meeting the road manager, and we hung out backstage till 7 in the morning. I brought some college girls with me,
Of course you did.
um, and hanging out till 7 in the morning watching Superfly. It's just one of those memories that you will never forget.
Yeah,
Became really good friends with Ali Shahi Mohammed. And interesting enough, Social Mischief was the opening act for them. That was their first major tour. And I wasn't really a big fan of them then because Tribe and Della were huge,
yeah,
at that time. But then really, really became a Social Mischief head, hieroglyphics 100%.
yeah,
So definitely a Hiero head. Um, so yeah, then, to be honest, throughout towards the late 90s, I felt like hip hop went south a little bit, not literally speaking, but actually it did, but it just seemed very commercial, and it kind of lost its appeal to me,
yeah,
um, until Mos Def dropped the Black on Both Sides album, and then I was like, okay, there's
yeah,
still hope. So yeah, I I was a DJ in the 90s, techniques and the whole nine. So I feel like when you're a DJ, uh, your ears, like you have more of an open mind to different types of music. So
yeah,
I went through different phases. I was a big salsa head, still am. Salsa music is incredible. Then I went through like a reggaeton phase, right? Because I was like, oh, like they're rapping, but it's like reggae beats,
hmm,
like beautiful. Then I found Dominican hip hop, and made a lot of great connections with Dominican artists in DR because they were still very underground then. And a lot of them are very popular now. This is like maybe 2008. And, then, like I said, life started lifing,
yeah,
I started my career as a chef and then got married and had kids. And, fast forward 14 years later, here I am. So um, I connected with my business partner now, and I was talking to him how I had a nephew in Dominican Republic that he just needed a little financial help and to get his music going. And I sent him $200, and he was able to do so much with it, like get his vocals, shoot a video, help his mom get clothes. And he was like, wow, we can create like a big social impact on communities like that. So we have Melicumbe Entertainment is part of a bigger plan. We are working on social impact investment fund right now, but that's a process. But in the meantime, we're doing Melicumbe Entertainment. Um, about a year ago, I I bumped into Sadat X of Brand Nubian, not on the streets, but there was a song that he had released. It's called Here I Come. I don't know if you've heard it,
nah,
but I lost my head. It was like, it was just one of those songs that are an instant classic. It was hard, and it just had that beat. Alamo made the beat, and it was just incredible. And I was obsessed with it. And then I was like, man, my artists from back in my days are still producing great music. And I had been a little bit out of touch. So it's not like the world probably knew I didn't know.
yeah,
Um, and then I linked up with DJ Lus. DJ Lus and I, we're like family. I raised him. He was a young DJ coming up when I was a little older.
yeah.
And
Shout out to
we have a
Lus. Shout out
great
to Lus. Shout out to Lus.
DJ Lus.
Shout out to Lus.
So I said to him, yo, let's make a mixtape. So I started collecting the music. He said, yeah, get the music together. And I started curating the songs. And, I got great music from, I think Slick Rick had just released his album on Mass Appeal. Um, uh, Tash from Alcoholics. And, I just started following my heart with hip hop and whatever, I think like I have a pretty good ear for it. So I was just collecting the songs, and through the process of giving these people their flowers, I've made a lot of great connections and relationships with local artists as well. So one thing has led to another. We've done 4 mixtapes in a year. It's called Fresh Beats Classic Heat. You can check them out on the website, melicumbe.com,
Mm.
and on YouTube as well. But we just launched the website, so we want people to go to the website.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was like, I started making connection with these artists. Um, and like my favorite artists were happy that I was celebrating them. And, you know, um, so that's what was happening on the hip hop end for the past year. But when I started linking up with my business partner about 5 years ago, we said we wanted to provide a platform to real talent, right? Because we all know that what sells is not necessarily where the talent is at. So we wanted to provide, a space, a platform for our artists that did have the talent. So I started a cooking show. Um, and it started in Dominican Republic because that's where my connections were with the artist. And we shot 2 episodes with two of the art's most acclaimed hip hop producers. And that was really cool. And in the process, I got to meet Tajay from Social Mischief through Instagram. And I was telling him what I did and what we were doing. And he was like hella excited because he's a big foodie. And he was like, "Oh my God, I'd love to be on your show." And I was like, "Oh shit." Tajay from Souls. So,
Yeah.
for like a solid year, we have been going back and forth. Because I was ideally, I guess, hoping to get all 4 of them, but we're older now, so people have lives. It's a lot harder to
Yeah.
get 4 people together. So we finally locked in a date, and he has a resort in Panama. It's called Bliss Beach Resort in Panama. And I flew down there. I got my camera guy from DR. We met over there. We drove 6 hours from the airport. It's like in the jungle, but it's a beautiful place. And we shot the cooking show, and it was amazing. It was great. He has a studio with a kitchen, so it worked out beautifully. So yeah, so that was about a year and a half ago, and then I found uh, an event that hosts 90s hip hop or 90s throwbacks, right? Because I'm a hip hop head. Like I wouldn't mind going to a place and just listening to 90s hip hop all night.
Yeah.
A lot of people that go to these 90s events, they want the R&B and the, dance hall and the hip hop. And that's all good, right? But for me, it was good enough because it was better than nothing. I didn't have anywhere else where I could just enjoy myself.
Yeah.
So I went to that and that was fun, but then you had to wait like 2 months. And then if you're not around for that date, it was like, oh, I gotta wait another 2 months for the next event. And it was in Boston. I live in the North Shore, 40 minutes north of Boston. So
Yeah.
so then, I was consulting at Attica Restaurant, which is where we're hosting our next event this weekend. I was consulting the restaurant, and I was just like, "Hey, they have a club. And I said, can I host a party here at 90s Hip Hop?" He's like, "Yeah, do whatever you want." So, we did that in April, and the reaction from everyone that came was like, "Oh my God, this is so great. I'm so happy that you're doing it." We had DJ Nomadic
Okay.
DJ that event. And it was just so much fun, just hip hop, like 90s hip hop. It was heavenly, a little bit of dance hall, a little bit of R&B, but mostly hip hop. So I've had this issue where I always have to like control the music. I think that's a DJ thing,
Y'all a bit
but
control freaks. I've been around DJ. Y'all a bit of control freaks, but
yeah,
I've been around. Yeah, I've been around Lust. He's a little bit of control freak when it comes to him and the turntables. It's funny because I went through a moment where I was hanging out with DJs and Lawrence back and forth, and I just try to see how they set the thing, how they set the mode, and how they're gonna transition, and like what, like they look at the room, they try to read the room and see what's gonna play to get the joke. It's like an expertise that you got to study the room, and if they run the room, okay, I'll stick with this playlist out here, and y'all
yeah.
become madmen.
I think I was a very stubborn DJ. I was like, I'm gonna play what I want to play.
But see, that's the thing. That's the thing too, because it's like I'll be having conversations like with DJs, and we're all hip hop nerds. We're all hip hop. It's like a secret society. But there's also
Right.
the little thing that it's like, oh God, I have to like play this music, and like I hate this music, but I have to play for this particular audience.
I
And it's
know.
funny because I had a friend of mine who was a DJ, and his cousin, they were both DJs, but his cousin was better at like reading the crowd. Like, okay, we're gonna play this because this is what they want. But my homeboy was like a backpacker, so it'll be a party, and it'll be some dancehall, some reggae, some R&B thing again, and then he'll take over and he'll play like some Dead Prez hip hop, and people just started walking away.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you even, at these events, you gotta keep the party happening.
Yeah,
As much as I'm a hip hop head, you still gotta, obviously I love Biggie, right? But you gotta throw those Biggie classics, right? Maybe a Nas, Nas is a little bit more on the hardcore-ness, but Biggie has a lot of beats that are, songs that are upbeat, so
the party music.
gets the party going.
Yeah,
So it has to be a balance.
yeah.
And for me, as long as it's quality, it's all good.
Yeah, no, 100%. I want to backtrack something because I want to bring this in full circle. I have a brand Nubian story, and it was
Mm.
like it was
I got a
my
brand new gay story
I
too.
got a brand Nubian story, but it was like my introduction to hip hop. Because the thing about it with me, like I'm from Jersey, so hip hop kind of like
Mm,
went in and out because during that time, if you recall, like hip hop was not really being played that much, especially during the mainstream ever. And
yeah.
you'll catch like probably an hour or something, and then you don't hear it because you're like for example, like your MTV Rap, they only played it once a week. So if you're lucky, you might catch a Run DMC video at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. For the most part, it was at a particular time. You have to be up to watch it, and if you didn't watch it, you're stuck unless you had a VCR and recorded that episode. God, I'm showing my age, but when I lived in Jersey, I remember my mom she bought me two records, and it was the Run DMC record and it was the Fat Boys. And it's so funny because I remember watching the Biggie document, and he said that was his first two tapes he bought. My mom got me these records. And the funny thing about the Fat Boys, my mom liked the Fat Boys, but it wasn't because of the group. They just thought they was fat and funny. And they had a movie back in the day that we all used to watch together. But then that was it. I didn't hear hip hop no more. So then fast forward, I come to Lawrence. Well, before that, I go to Lynn, and now I'm seeing like more rap than what I should have. So I remember I was stuck on Hammer because that was all I could hear. That was all you hear during the time. The following year, I moved to Lawrence. It is the funny story ever because my mom had this neighbor, and she like was cleaning up like some apartment or something like that because they were like some people about to like move in, and she owned the apartment. So whoever lived there like left these tapes, and then she
Mm,
was trying to see like some kind of Spanish music, but it was like rap music. So like, look, I got these tapes. See if you want is if your son wants it, like la música de los morenos. See if he wants it or whatever case, baby. you know. So I got the tapes, and I didn't know who it was because like all the names were already scratched off because it was like already dated. But the first three tapes that I had on my hand that I actually had a clear understanding what the hell was talking about was Brand Nubian,
mm,
Poor Righteous Teacher,
mm.
and Vanilla Ice. Now, the funny thing about it, like, I had a dude that came to my show, and I'm like, that's an interesting mix. You get Brand Nubian and Full Righteous Teacher. Like, how the hell Vanilla Ice got in the mix with that in that tape?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
we all dance a little bit to him.
we all guilty pleasure, guilty pleasure. It is funny because like I knew the words of the song, like at an early age, I knew like the words of the song, but then fast forward years later, like I went back and listened to them, and it was pretty much talking about some 5%er, the black man is God. So now like I go through it, it feels like a whole different complete album. Like it sounds very different. Which I have to ask, us being Latino, like what was that situation like where you hear this music And like, did your parents give you some nonsense? Like, oh God, this thing again?
100%. One,
Yes, yes, yes.
yeah, but I was I just,
La música de los negros.
la música de los
De los
morenos,
morenos.
los cocolos.
Los cocolos.
Um, I don't know. Like for me, I was telling my business partner this. Like, I was very much into pop music as a young adult. Like I was 14, 15, just listening to pop music. And then when I went to college, it just kind of all went out the window. It just felt like the music had so much soul and meaning, right? And because it was so conscious, you had like when you were rhyming, the words that you were saying had, like they had weight,
Yeah,
right? Like they were saying something like whether about, freedom or, you know, not putting up with stuff or racism or whatever it was, about just becoming a better person or more positive or, just who to trust, who not to trust. So for me, it was like almost and then the beats back then too, they were so unique. Like nowadays, like this is how you're getting old when
yeah,
But my daughter says to me, it all sounds the same. No, it doesn't.
yeah.
Right? Everybody had their own style. Like biting was not an option, right? Everybody tried to
Not
have
allowed.
to, right, not allowed. They all tried to be as unique as they could be. But yeah, my mom would say, coming to the US was the biggest mistake ever. Just, and then here we are 35 years later, right? Like trying to make a living out of the same things that you thought were wrong with me,
Yeah. Put it all
you
in full
know?
circle. Put it
Yeah.
all in full
So,
circle.
so, um, I just hip hop was it's just amazing. Going back home though was also another thing. Like, because I went from being a pop looking cheerleader to wearing the baggy jeans and the baggy white t-shirt, like, TLC or
Yeah.
crisscross, and they were like, what happened to this girl? I go,
Uh,
no, no, but
what the hell happened to this one? ¿Qué le
yeah,
pasó a esta aquí?
la perdimos. We
Hilarious, hilarious,
lost her. Yeah,
hilarious.
yeah,
All right, so check this out, y'all. We're gonna go to a quick break. Uh, you want to go for Brand Nubian? Can we play some Brand Nubian?
yeah. Are
All
you
right, yo, we're gonna
kidding
play.
me?
We're gonna go with you know what? We're gonna go one of my personal favorites. Slow down, Brand Nubian,
Hmm.
Cuban Mic 102.9. Bear with me, y'all. All right, we are back. It's your boy Cuban Mike. Listen to 102.9 Take Deck. We got Meli Cumbe in the building. I gotta ask you a question. How were you able to incorporate food with well, now I'm gonna say just food, Dominican food with hip hop? How did that blending came along?
I like to say that my style of cooking, it kind of represents who I am and where I've been. So for the same reason why I decided to move to New York to go to culinary school, to become a better chef, to separate myself from the rest. I'd say that that's the same thing with my style of cooking. I take a little bit from everywhere that I've been. The first major restaurant I ever worked at was in New York City. It was called Tabla, one of the most acclaimed restaurants in New York. It was a French Indian restaurant. So I get a lot of, spices and Indian influences into my food. Kind of like all the things that I love personally, I just kind of put my own spin. So like sancocho, right? I don't necessarily make your average sancocho. I can, but if I have my way, I like to infuse it with some type of spice and, I'll add coconut milk, which normally you don't do that.
Mhm.
So, that's what it is. I just feel like you gotta try to separate yourself. If you're an artist, right? You like we were just talking, you want to try to sound differently than everybody else. If you're a chef, you want something that's gonna be unique about your food and what you're doing. So I'd say that that's pretty much what it is. Just like my experiences, who I've been exposed to. I teach culinary arts to students and I always say, try to pick the best chefs that you can work for, because when you work for the best, you become that. So
Awesome.
I'd say that's what influenced me.
All right. So what is I got a two-part question. What it maybe it could be a one-part question, but what is your go-to favorite dish?
Oh my God, I get that all the time.
All right, so
Um,
you got to think top three. You got top three? We'll do like a hip hop top three.
well, I mean, I love tacos, tacos all day,
Yeah. So
tacos all day. Anything,
you make a mean taco.
I make a taco out of anything.
All
Yes.
right.
Um, anything that has like coconut milk in it, any Thai, anything, some sort of Thai influence, anything that has chilies, right, that adds a spice to it. Um, you know, I would say that. I would just say like, anything coconutty and spicy, um, with spices. I don't think that I can say that I have one favorite thing,
Yeah.
because I'm a foodie. There's not much that I don't eat. I
Yeah.
can't even think of one or two things that I would say no to. So,
You're making it sound like they're all your favorite kids. You can't just pick one.
no, I mean, if I have to pick like a cuisine, not a dish, right? But if I have to pick a cuisine, it would have to be probably between, Mexican, Indian, and Thai,
Yeah.
so when I cook, I kind of always, use a little bit from each cuisine and make my own thing.
Dope,
Yeah.
dope. Um, all right, so we're gonna go to another joint. Um, let's see what I'm in the mood for. What I'm in the mood for. What I'm in the mood for. You know what? So we talked about like me and my tape deck days, or my early tape deck days. I'm getting old, jeez. I want to go with an old school classic pool righteous teacher, Shaquilla. Cuban Mic 102.9. Bear with me, y'all. What up, what up, what up? We are back. Cuban Mic 102.8 tape deck with Meli. I'm hoping I'm not torturing the young lady out here because we've been all hip hopped out and all Dominican food out. But anyways, she was just telling me something behind the scenes because we have an event coming up this week, correct? You
Yes.
want to go off and talk about the event we coming up this week?
Sure. So it is like a 2 day, 2 event weekend type of thing. So this Saturday, July 18th, we are doing our pilot filming of my cooking show, Picando con Melicumbe, in which I have a musical guest and I cook with them their favorite dish. I teach them how to make their favorite dish. So our musical guest for this cooking show is Sada X of Brand Nubian. So I am so excited.
I don't have any sound effects. I have to clap on the microphone.
No worries. So yeah, so that's Saturday. It's gonna be in Lawrence at Attica. Um, we have a production crew. We're gonna have DJ Deadeye there as well. Zay is also going to be there, and as a also grand agent who
Yeah.
collab who collaborates with Culture Freedom from Poor Righteous Teachers, also
Yeah.
coming all the way from Philly to join us and be part of the dinner table and the conversation. So I am super excited. Been very busy, just getting all my ducks in order and organizing everything, but very excited and ready to jam. So that's Saturday. Um, so if anyone wants to go and be part of the audience, they can just go to melicumbe.com and purchase a ticket. There's different tiers. So if you just want to be part of the audience, if you want to do a meet and greet, or if you want to be part of the dinner as well. So that's Saturday, July 18th. On July 19th, we're having our second show, a 90s hip hop throwback called The Rewind. And we're going to have DJ Data spinning some, the best hip hop from the 90s. We're going to have Zay. I don't know if you're familiar with Zay. Zay is a young rapper or MC from Lawrence. He's amazing.
Mhm.
And Conflict is also opening.
Yeah, my guy Conflict. Let's
I
go.
love Conflict. I'm
Conflict.
obsessed with
Yeah.
Conflict.
Nah, he's the truth. Conflict's the
He
truth.
is, oh,
Oh,
he's like hip hop to me.
no.
That man,
Yeah.
everything about that man says hip hop. Yeah, so I love his music. His new album is crazy.
Yeah. I gotta listen to that album. I haven't heard it yet, but I'm definitely gonna taste
Oh,
soon today.
listen, I am telling you, that album is fire from beginning to end. And then
Yeah.
El the Sensei does the intro and the outro from
Oh,
Artifacts.
oh,
Yeah.
so you wait, so this is gonna be like a big like hip hop Dominican food 5%er Jersey thing
So
going
there's
on.
no food. There's no food on Sunday,
Nah,
right?
but I'm just
On
saying
Sunday is
with the
the
whole thing.
rewind. No, but Elder Sensei, he does the intro and the outro for
Yeah, for
Conflict's
Conflict album. Conflict.
album. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a great album to check out. And then Sada X
Yeah.
is the main act for the night.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be so much fun, and I can't wait. I can't wait to just jam to, the music and the vibe and the nostalgia of, you know, the hip hop from the years that we were young and free.
Oh, I'm
So
about to I feel so on this side because you went to the Master Asian. I just never got a chance to meet you at the show, right? You
I
went.
did,
Yeah,
yeah,
I didn't get a chance to bump into you, but I mean the show I saw with Master A's and Lawrence, that was amazing. That was my it felt so vintage. So I mean,
yeah,
big shout out to you for bringing these artists to Lawrence because there's not always we get such a treat like this.
yeah.
So thank you for
And
making this happen.
the goal is to continue to do this, but
Yeah,
we need support, right? People, and I try to do it, so I do it on a Sunday. Um, and I do it early. So if you gotta work, I'm off for the summer because I'm a culinary instructor at a high school.
yeah,
So, but I do it so that by 10 p.m. you can go home and get your sleep, but you got your hip hop on.
yeah.
Because I still want to go out and live a little bit. Even just because you're older and you're a parent. Like life goes on. This is what's keep this generation, right? Someone said we are the first generation of hip hop and the first grandparents or parents generation of hip hop. Like we lived it. Like this is our way of life.
Yeah.
Um, you don't really get over this. This is something that if you
Yeah.
always love hip hop, it will continue until you die. So
You
I'm
know,
very excited for
it,
this.
I'm excited also, and it's funny you mentioned that because I remember, back in our days, we feel as though like, you should retire by the time like you're 28. Like 30 was like the age limit. You should stop rapping or whatever the case may be. And now fast forward, like you got these MCs that are dropping incredible albums. I mean, the Nas Master P was a perfect example. You will have dudes, you know, at their age right now spitting the way that they're spitting, and they gonna keep up with any of these young dudes that's out right now. Not only that, they could sell out shows easier than any dude that's out right now.
Yeah.
Um,
So, the rewind was to get the crowd,
mhm,
right? That was the main reason for producing the rewind, a 90s hip hop show legacy, right? But also to provide a space for our older artists
yeah,
to come and perform, because they still have music to put out.
yeah,
Like I told you, I started doing the mixtapes, and I mean, you should check out the mixtapes. They are amazing. There is so much great music. And then there's so many also younger artists that are maintaining that same essence of hip hop. They are linking up with the older hip hop artists and producing new songs. You have Premier making music with Rock Marciano,
hmm,
right? Um, you got Coyote that is amazing, produced by Static Selecta,
yeah.
right? Um, it's just so many songs. Like, you got Smith and Wesson with Pharaoh Munch dropping Medina. I don't know if you've heard that song, but that
I
song is
haven't,
insane.
I haven't heard it to it.
So the mixtapes are a way to celebrate what they're doing now. The rewind, the event of on the for the 90s throwback is to kind of provide that vibe. But the mixtapes are like we got to celebrate their new music,
Yeah.
because it's still pretty amazing. So we're doing also, we're gonna start working on an open mic. Um, so I'm hoping to kind of start playing the new songs because when you go to the 90s hip hop event, you that's what you want to listen to.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what you
Well,
want to listen to. So, people are not familiar, but I feel like if it's a more like lounge, relaxed type of vibe, you can play the new songs and little by little you start getting into them. But, because there's still no radio for hip hop, for underground hip hop, really, unless it's like, college radio. But I meant like,
or the tape deck hour, Cuban Mike could catch
yeah,
me Friday from 6 to 7.
yeah, so.
Yeah.
I just feel like everything that I do because I want it for myself, and since I can't get it, I'm just doing it. So
Yeah.
that because I'm like I can't be the only one that wants to hang out with Sada X,
No,
right?
no.
So that's what the cooking show also is about. It's about providing um, the fan a very up close personal, exclusive experience where you get to hang out with someone that you admire,
Yeah. So,
so
I feel as though it's gonna be something that's gonna be what's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, intimate, like an intimate moment with your
very
favorite artist.
intimate, very
Yeah,
intimate. Yeah.
yeah.
So
I'm definitely looking forward to that, man, and I'll definitely be there popping up to show support and show love.
sounds great.
So
Sounds great.
I'm definitely out there. I'm definitely out there. So
I appreciate it.
yeah. Any final words so we can before we wrap this up?
No, like, if people can start, just supporting events. I know that every time Rex throws something, I'm there.
Yeah,
Like I
yeah,
said,
yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
we need these places, and these events won't happen if people don't show up.
Yeah.
So just go out. You're still young. You still got it going on. Just live a little bit. Just go home early.
Yeah.
But just kind of support the local events.
Yeah,
So
yeah, I can't stress that more than enough. But like support your own. If you could spend $1,000 to go to a stadium to see your favorite artist, ain't nothing wrong with throwing a couple of dollars to your local artists and just supporting your community. I'm very big
yeah.
on that. That's why Rex keeps taking my money every time there's a show out here.
Yeah, 100%,
Yeah,
And I always tell people like, okay, you can go to a show and then you're like a mile away from where the artist is performing,
yeah,
right? And you're paying all this money. I'm trying to create something a little bit, more intimate. Like I feel like I have the advantage that because I make all these mixtapes and I connect with the artists that I can contact them and talk to them, freer than someone else would. But when you go to a show, for the most part, you're going because you're a fan. You would like to meet that artist.
yeah.
So I'm trying to provide that space for people. I'm looking at, CL Smooth next. So,
Okay, all right, all right. We out
again,
here.
just like, the best great artists that deserve their flowers.
Mhm.
And how many people wouldn't want to come and hang out for a couple hours with Sada X or, CL Smooth or OC or, all these great artists that we grew up with. So
Well,
that's what
100%.
I'm here to do.
All right, so it's official. You're gonna be my best friend now. You're gonna be my hip hop best friend after this interview. That's it. We're gonna hang out now. We're gonna
It's
go
on.
out. It's on. We're gonna talk about album cuts, artists, and I didn't ask him. Go ahead. Go
You
ahead.
gotta you gotta listen to the mixtapes.
I got you.
Fresh beats, classic heat.
Yeah, send me the link. I'm definitely gonna listen to that. Send me the link, and
I
I
will.
mean, I'm. Let me see if I could get away with it. Play like the mix at the show and at my radio show. See if I could get away with it and see if I could pull some
Okay.
strings to play the
Yeah.
mix and definitely show love. I got to double check. I never really asked. I know you came from New York, but you came like strictly like to Lawrence to settle out here, little DR here. How
Yeah,
the heck
little DR.
how the heck did I miss you? How the hell this is like the first time and we know the same circle. Like Russell's my freaking
Well,
neighbor. How the hell I missed this?
to be honest, I just met Rex last year and I couldn't believe that. I was like, how the hell did I not know about you? First of all, I didn't even know he was from Lawrence. I
Yeah,
just started, he just kind of popped up as, one of the artists that I
yeah.
should check out. And then I remember he played a song with terminology.
Hmm.
I remember he did a post and it was a song that he was just releasing with Term. And I had met Term a couple of years before. And I was like, oh man. And then, I connected with him and I was like, you're from Lawrence?
Yeah.
So, you know, um, I don't know. I mean, I used to be out and about as well, but I was in college, and then I went, like I said, after like late '90s, I went through my salsa phase, so that was that. And then I moved to New York for 5 years,
Yeah.
and then I live in Merrimack now, so
Yeah.
I'm not in Lawrence,
All right.
but I go to Lawrence all the time. My kids, they go to organizations in Lawrence, so I'm in
Bet.
Lawrence all the time. I get my hair done in Lawrence, so
As you should. As you should. All right, bet yo. So we're going ahead, we're gonna talk, we're gonna get a hip hop going on, we're gonna some food going. We're gonna build a kinship right here after this. We're gonna build.
sounds
We're
good.
definitely gonna build that. Yeah, man. So yo, just your boy Cuban Mike. You been listening to 102.9 Tape Deck. And says we all know that Sadak X gonna be in the building in Lawtown. It's only right. I only ended with one of my favorite songs from him. The Lump Lump. We're gonna end it with the Lump
Mm,
Lump, y'all. Cuban
that
Mike.
that's a
Yeah, yeah.
classic.
Even that, even the fact you made the ugly face, you know where I'm going with this. So this is it, man. Melly, thank you. 100 thank yous. I know it was last minute, but we were able to make this happen. We actually
Yes,
made it work.
thank you.
And we're gonna do this, y'all. Catch me Friday, 6 to 7. Cupid Mike, 102.9 Take Deck. Catch y'all later. Peace.
Peace.
Lump it out.
Thank you.
No, thank you. Yes. Send me